Okay, hi. So in this second video about Homer, I want to talk a bit about how to integrate the work that you do in Homer with game and application development environments. So I think it's Homer it can be useful because of separation of concerns. So it lets you do a lot of work, not only content writing and also comfortable page-based content writing, but also defining quests, little puzzles, plots, and so on inside the tool. But of course, it's useful as much as it is practical and reliable in its integration with the actual game or application development environment. So again, there we try to keep things as simple and as practical as possible in order to have a short develop, write, and test cycle. Okay, but before I get into that, just a couple of things that in the already probably too long first tutorial I didn't talk about. The first thing, and which are of course linked to integration with the full development environment, is one is localization, which is of course a major concern, which actually Homer fully supports. So here we've been working in the default language, in this case English, but of course you can configure as many languages as you want, and you can switch between them inside the application. In this case, you won't be able to change the structure, but you'll be able to change the contents. Now, why some content is shown in white and some in yellow? Well, because the white, as you can see, has been translated in this case in Italian, and the yellow one, so Homer shows you the nodes that are lacking translation. So often the translation will not be done directly in the editor, but through export to a translator and through a CSV file, export and import. And of course, so Homer lets you download a CSV file that you can then edit and then re-upload for each of the languages. Okay. So, and this was one thing. The other thing is the fact managing state. That is, as we've seen, that Homer supports different kinds of flows and different and that in the same project different flows can be edited by different people at the same time, though not the same people on the same flow at the same time. So they will be locked according to who's working on them. So you can filter here by state. Let's say those that are in this case that are final, which are these, and you can also have a multi filter. Let's say only those that are notes or both at the same time. So you can enable and disable them. So this is cool. Then a last thing. So for the moment, I'm now talking. For the moment, Homer is available. You should use it with Chrome browser, and it's meant to be used on desktop, so it's not optimized for mobile. So being an editor would make probably not that much sense to use it on mobile. And we're working, so it's almost 100% supported on Firefox, but not yet. And in the download section of the site, you can also download the native application wrapper, so you can use it that way, which is very comfortable, of course. Okay, but let's get to the main topic, integration with development environment. So you should go for this. You should check out this menu and the game development section. Okay, so what do we have here? Well, first of all, everything you do in Homer is saved to a JSON file. And now this file, of course, needs a parser to be used by your game development environment. We provide two built-in, let's say. You can download a parser in C# for Unity projects and one in JavaScript for web applications. So but not only that. So let's focus for the moment on Unity. So when you if you download the Unity zip, what will be in that? Well, we provided a plugin which not only lets you parse the JSON, but actually provides you with a sample scene which will work on your project, your JSON file, and let you explore that. So how do you set up the Unity project? So first of all, we are working on Unity 2020, but I don't think anything in the plugin is particularly linked to any version, and you have the full source and all the classes available. So you should just copy, when you download the zip file, you just copy the obtained Homer folder into plugins. The sample scene explorer scene, which you'll find inside the Explorer folder, which I have currently open, assumes that you have installed TextMesh Pro, which is actually Unity. Is actually owned by Unity plugin in order to have a nicer text in the application. So once you install a plugin and you open the sample Homer scene, you can launch it, and this will parse your own JSON file for your own project, which it will check for in the project data, and you can update anytime. And so it will let you browse the content of the project, locale, actors, global variables, metadata, and labels. And then you can go into each of the flows and play them inside Unity, just like in browser case. So if we go here, you're getting the same experience that you get here. Now here I switch locale to Italian, I switch to English. So notice how nice it of course uses it in the preview, and you can check it out. Okay, and so the same thing, I have exactly the same thing in Unity. Okay, so that's super cool. Now the point, of course, is for you if you're Unity developer, is to get the Homer output to be used in your own project. Okay, so instead of making you let's say reverse engineer and say the whole project browser here, which of course you can do, and it's only like 3 or 4 classes, but we also did if you go to Explorer, a very basic sample class, which actually has probably most of what you need, and it's the class that at startup here prints this output, which has everything you need to start using Homer on your own project. So let's move to Visual Studio here, and this is the sample class. This you see, it's very short, and here it loads the project, it prints out, in this case, all the global variables, so you can access them and also change eventually their value, read and write. The actors gives you all the actors, and then it navigates with this recursive call of do next, the flow, printing out a content of the choices and automatically choosing one choice at random when they meet it, and then printing out the text nodes and following the logic for all the others. So, and this is how now this class just prints on debug log all that it's doing. So you see here the loop, the printing of the global variables, the actors, and then following all the choices for up to 100 steps. Of course, you have to be careful because Homer can define loops, also infinite loops. Okay, so I think with this is you have all you need. But notice one thing: when you're downloading content from the web application, not only when you're downloading the full Unity project, but in successive updates. When you, of course, you don't need to re-download the whole project. All you need is seemingly is just a JSON data file to update that, which is in project data in Unity. But actually, what it does, the application also generates for you a C# class with all the variables defined for you. So in this case, so you don't have to, like in other tools, you don't have to call them by string, but you actually have on always updated Homer vars class with all the variables defined in Homer available for you in code, and also the name of all the actors and all the meta tags, so which you can use to explore the content of the nodes and having compile time strong typing, let's say, validation. So this should be very comfortable. So just remember that if you change the meta or actors or variable, you should update in your Unity project in project data or wherever you have put them the Homer JSON and the Homer vars, and that's it. Okay, so this basically shows the Unity integration. So if when you're familiar with how to explore the project, you want to get more data from the nodes, you should open the Homer Loader printer, because so the sample project explorer here starts with this Homer Loader class, and the Homer Loader class uses this an abstract class, Homer Loader printer class, which has lots of useful methods. So how to print the locale, the actors, variables, meta, labels, and more. So you can check out that for learning more. Now, so the web application, so we've seen the Unity integration. Now the web integration is similar, and again there you just have to download the HTML, and you're provided with a complete project. So what would you get? You will get basically this folder, which is a web application that runs. It won't run as a file locally. You have to put it on a web server. In this case, I put just a basic MUMP setup, and just copied this as a root application. And then, so what I get here is again an Explorer application that you can use to customize and eventually publish on the web your application. This is fully running, and it gives you all the method for accessing. But again, here too, we also did simplified, very basic page with this Homer basic user sample.js, which again, it's just a short class that gives you all you need to start using Homer in your own project, even from starting from scratch from code. So here it prints the locale, the name, the actors, the global variables, and then it navigates recursively, and then again, so you can call this page in the browser, and you get this output. And again, also in the JavaScript project, you basically have to update the JSON file and the variables file to update the project. And of course, once you have this, you can customize it and put your own CSS and decide how to present the text node, the choices, and how to integrate. But this is one thing. But of course, another thing that you may want is just to call the flows to get feedback on state, on objects, on actors, so what they're thinking, what they want to do, what state is your quest, and so on. But you just call the flow and pass the commands, as we've seen in the previous video. So I think this is basically it. Let me check my notes. Yeah, of course, remember to do backups of all your JSON files of your projects, and also please, if you're using Homer in a commercial professional project, remember to support us so we can keep maintaining and adding features and also maintaining all the plugins. We also hope that somebody will start contributing plugins for other game engines, for say Unreal, Game Maker, and so on. Of course, having the full source of the other two plugins and C# and JavaScript shouldn't be too hard to develop your own if you're comfortable with that in another development environment. And in this case, just ask on a Discord for any kind of help that you need for that, and we will be happy to help you. So I think I hope that Homer will be useful and you can have fun with it. Bye.